Hello everybody, welcome to Recovery Lab TV. My name is Chris, I'm your coach and sports therapist, and today we're going to be talking about the VivoBiomes. Now, I've been a Vivo pioneer for the past year, and I've been testing out, for those who have been part of the channel, will know that I've been testing out their brand new 3D printed, custom made Barefoot trainer. Now, initially the first generations look like this, albeit a little cleaner when I first had it, but as you can tell they are well worn and I've used them for everything. For those who have watched the previous video will know that I've ran hundreds and hundreds of miles in these shoes. I've done everyday life in these shoes, as you can tell by the sole of them, and this was the first generation. Brilliant colour, albeit vibrant and kind of stand out, but they certainly got people asking questions, which is exactly what it's about. I spoke to more people about Vivo than ever before wearing these, as you can imagine, but found them incredibly comfortable. They were slightly bigger and wider around the entire foot than I would say a typical, as you can tell by the sole of my feet. My big toe and smaller toes there came across by here, but I had all this space there to kind of maximize and kind of really utilize. Now, what we found was there was a slight issue with the sole of the trainer. Grip was an issue initially when you first wore them, either on kind of tiles or wood flooring. It was quite slippery, and also when the floor got wet. Now, living in Britain, the floor gets wet a lot, as you can imagine. So it was a bit of an issue that they kind of worked on and worked through in regards to the 3D render and the process of the sole. This knitted section, naturally, as you can see by here, had a bit of extra room, and they wanted to know that, like, was it, like, what were people's preferences in regards to, did they want a bit more space? Did they want less space? Did they want it snug? And so on. And they certainly have done that throughout the testing process, in regards to all the different pioneers having different variations, if you will. The goal is to kind of have the least amount of wastage as possible. So naturally, we are currently testing their online system to kind of create these shoes that naturally, as a user and as a customer, you're going to go onto their website, you're going to upload your foot scans. They're then going to use those foot measurements, and then you're going to then place your order based on the custom measurements that you want. Do you want extra toe space around the edges? Do you like a tighter fit? Do you like a medium kind of range, or a recommended fit that they will have based on your foot measurements? And it's this type of technology that I find absolutely fascinating, because it's trying to get your body back to nature, back to its natural states, that I think the kind of commercial shoe industry has kind of naturally crushed our toes, and allowed us to kind of use them less and less, if you will, to reduce that kind of proprioception. Now, from this shoe, they made the adjustments and released the second generation. For those who have watched that second video, will know my thoughts and feelings about this shoe. If not, head over there and watch it. And as again, you can see that I've kind of absolutely hammered these. This past week, I have run 7 Olympic triathlons, completed 7 Olympic triathlons as part of my training for a triple Ironman distance race that I'm doing later in July. And it's kind of really what I found with this shoe. It's much more fitted. I've kind of lost the bulk around the shoe, and it's a perfectly fitting shoe, to be honest. Feels great when it's on. It feels like you're wearing a pair of socks. There's less toe space at the end, so I think, for me personally, don't know if you can see, but my toe tends to sit here, so I've got a bit of room, but not too much in comparison to here, my toe sits there, and I've got this extra space. One thing I have found is the way that this lip comes here, you tend to get the kind of the wet and the kind of the flick up, if you will, of kind of moisture and dirt when you're running on wet days. Tends to sit here, which is rubbish for fabric. The great thing is you can wash these and nothing kind of bad happens to them, which is great. I tend to put them in a pillowcase and then put them in the washing machine, but just make sure that you're drying them naturally via like kind of air drying. Now, what they've done is kind of made this much more custom fit. So here in the fabric, there's less wastage, there's less kind of extra bulk, as you can see in comparison. And then they've trimmed this down, this kind of the wing of the shoe down. I don't know if you can see that much, but it's slightly thinner. And the material, what I found with these, with the second generation, although it was less slippery, what I found is the material that they use tends to hold a bit of moisture inside, so therefore, like if you walk out in the rain, say for example today, and then you come into your house, unless you're putting them by a radiator or so on, I leave mine in the porch, and there's a small radiator there, but it's not necessarily doing that much. The sole will still hold a small amount of water that you can feel to touch in the sole when you then put them on the following morning. And what I'm interested in is learning and seeing how much progress is happening in the third generation, which literally arrived yesterday. Now, I've carefully opened these and had a little look at them, but I haven't actually put them on my feet yet. So these are the next generation, the third generation. And as you can tell, they are very, very trendy. What you can't tell is the feel of the sole. They've clearly done a lot of work because, as weird as it sounds, the sole feels thicker and more robust. Still has all the flexibility that the other trainer has, as I will show you. However, it feels thicker compared to the second generation. The second generation doesn't feel as thick, although it looks very similar from an eye perspective. But what they've done, apparently on the wings here, we had a few people not complain, but give constructive feedback, if you will, about the second phase on regards to a lot of rubbing happening in the wings in these sections on the ankles. Now, a lot of people wear Vivos barefoot without socks. I tend to wear all my trainers with socks, just out of habit. I don't really tend to wear any of my trainers without socks. But this was voted the second most popular colour, compared to this was the leader. And then there's a million different colour schemes, and what they're planning on doing is pretty much having it full custom. So you could pick the top layer, the colour scheme, the bottom layer, the colour scheme, and it's very cool, in all fairness, having a completely custom shoe fully made for your foot. 6% of us experience rubbing on the second generation in the wing section by here. So they have modified the generation 3 on the medial side here on the inside of the shoe by 10 millimeters to improve our experience. When they looked at the foot scans of all of these people, what they found that there was drop arches and overpronation, which was causing the discomfort in the shoe. Naturally, as you strengthen your feet, like I do a lot of kind of rehab and prehab, and then naturally I do a lot of barefoot shoe wearing. I don't really tend to wear other shoes other than, say, a performance shoe. If I'm doing fast runs and so on, then I might slip into a Nike performance shoe. Other than that, I live in barefoot shoes, so I can't speak for anybody else, but those are my experiences. The main features are the sole is being enhanced with a better grip, which I'm looking forward to putting to the test, and I will get back to you in a couple of weeks with a more in-depth review about this shoe. And it's a much more sustainable sole product by the sounds of it and what they're explaining to us. In regards to the other shoes, like what they've recently commercialized, it's not a collaboration with the other companies that they've recently used. However, it feels like a better sole, to be honest. The grip feels better. It's nice to see that they've kept the little lines in around the shoe. For me, I feel like that adds more mobility to the foot. What I've also found, and I mentioned this in the previous video, I feel like I feel more in these shoes compared to other Vivos. I don't know whether that's a psychological thing or whether it's an actual proprioceptive quality of the shoe, but certainly when running and training, I feel like my muscles are sorer when I run in these. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing. It means that my legs are working harder because maybe my feet are getting more movement in these shoes because they're tailor-made, which is great. It means that I've have the ability to get stronger, and I certainly feel stronger because that's all I've run in is these shoes, the first and second generation. It'll be interesting to see that they've kind of trimmed this section down, because for me, it's the medial side that I feel more in. Now, I don't tend to overpronate. I have a bit of an arch in my foot in regards to my feet, but because I have long feet, I tend to have a smaller, flatter foot, if you will. However, the arch is there, and to be honest, that arch is built up over time because of Vivo Barefoot shoes and the work that I've done in regards to balance and proprioception. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to them, testing this section out, and I will let you know in the next video. Be sure to subscribe to get the notifications of when this next video is. I'm going to be testing these trainers out. My personal thoughts on the entire range are, I think for me, they're more a everyday shoe as opposed to the kind of running nature of them. Like for example, this, it's a great shoe, but I wouldn't ideally sound superficial, but I'd rather keep them as nice shoes as opposed to get them dirty. I absolutely love the Primus range, both the trail and the lights. In regards to running, I ran an obscene amount in those shoes, both trail and the normal version. And for me, they seem better for those activities, whereas this feels more like a kind of everyday wear shoe. But I shall certainly let you know in a few weeks when I put some miles into this, my thoughts and feelings, whether they'll change or not, I don't know. And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which color scheme is your favorite so far? These certainly look a lot nicer and cleaner at the moment. However, I have enjoyed this experience and enjoyed kind of going down this rabbit hole with Vivo, and I feel kind of honoured to be a part of the process, so thank you. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Let me know your thoughts and feelings in the comment section. Are you a Vivo Barefoot wearer? Do you wear kind of barefoot shoes in general? Are you brand new to it? Are you looking to kind of get into barefoot running shoes? And if so, asking for advice. I've been wearing these since 2017. So have various experiences, so by all means ask away any questions that you have in the comment section, and I will get back to each and every one of you. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you can, hit that subscribe button, become a part of the community. It helps massively, and I appreciate you greatly. Take care and have an amazing day.